right. Hello, hello, ladies. Ladies and friends and gentlemen and anyone who's tuning in live tonight. Hello to all of my crafty friends. Hello. If you will, just let me know if you can hear me because I just want to make sure you can hear me before we get too much further. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live with One Crafty Sister. My name is Jennifer Hill, and I am the face behind One Crafty Sister. Happy almost New Year. Can you believe? Awesome. Thank you, Kathy, for confirming that you can hear me. If can you guys believe that it is almost 2026? I seriously can't even believe that 2026 is almost here. But I am so excited to be here tonight, and I just want to wish everyone, I hope everyone had the merriest of Christmas, or enjoyed time with friends or family, or just had a quiet time to yourself, like whatever it was you needed. I hope that that's what Christmas was for you. So we had a nice little Christmas here with family. We kind of drove around to three different places in the day and put a few miles on the car, but we were with people that we love, and that's what for me was important for Christmas Day. We have a tradition, and I'd love to know before I get started if you guys have a tradition for the holidays, for the Christmas holiday or Hanukkah, or any of this season's holidays. If you have a tradition that is like just really special to you, I'm going to tell you what mine is. I would love for you to just drop a little like, this is my family tradition in the comments, because family traditions are really special as to me and in my family. And we have a couple that I really love at Christmas time. And one of them, for since I was 3 years old, was what we do for Christmas breakfast. And so it was just really something that my stepmother brought from her family from New England. So they would make fried dough, like bread dough, in the morning on Christmas morning. And so we would always, like, my mom would do it, and my dad would fry up sausage, and we would have this bread dough. So it's kind of like beignets or donuts, but without any powdered sugar or anything on it. It's literally just bread dough that you fry, super easy. And we would roll it out into like these fingerlings and fry them and eat them with melted butter and warm maple syrup. And it was like the only time of the year that we had actual, like, real maple syrup, as opposed to like one of the syrup tasting products that are on the shelf. Like, my parents would buy the expensive syrup. And so it's always been this special tradition in my family. And so we went over to my nephew's house and we had that breakfast with my sister and her husband and one of my nephews and his child and his wife. And it was just really special. And so it's been great to see how over the years, not just like everyone in our family has maintained that tradition all the years. So that was our Christmas morning tradition. I would love for you to share a tradition with me, because I love learning those things about you. But tonight, we're going to do some fun crafting. So tonight is the first session of my holiday break fun fold craft along. So you had the opportunity to order a kit in advance, a craft at home kit. And if you didn't, wait just a second, because I will let you know I have a few left, and I'm going to kind of show you what that entails. But I partnered with 5 of my creative crafty friends, and together we each created 2 really fun fold projects to bring to you 12 fun fold projects. And so tonight I'm doing the first two, which were designed by my friend Melissa Faust. And they are super cute. And then between now and Sunday, I will be sharing all of the 12 projects. Some will be live and some will be recorded because it is still my holiday time. I'm kind of fitting it in the way that it works. Normally I would have a really rigid schedule where this night I'm doing this night I'm doing that. So I am going to come at some different times. So tomorrow I'm going to come live in the afternoon at around 3 p.m. So weird time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, but I'll be able to do that as I get off early from work tomorrow. So I will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. for session 2 with 2 more fun folds. On New Year's Day, I'm going to share some videos, some pre-recorded videos instead of being live because I want to get outside. Even if it's cold, my husband and I want to go do something. So I'll be sharing some of those fun folds as pre-recorded videos. I will be live on Friday evening and Saturday evening and Sunday midday. So I am excited. Are you guys excited? Would you like to see what the Craft at Home kit pretty much looks like and learn how you could get the tutorial for all of these fun folds for free or for a nominal fee? First off, if you were to get the at home kit, you're first going to get this really awesome basket to organize in your craft room. That is part of your kit. As well as, I just love this basket. I love any baskets that you can organize with in your craft room. And this one is just really pretty. It has handles. It looks nice. Just looks great. You're gonna get a full pack of the Hobby Haven DSP. This DSP, this specialty DSP is so pretty. You're gonna see it in action tonight, but it has all these cool patterns for book lovers, for crafters, for people with green thumbs, all the fun things. So I'm gonna show you my open pack. This is just like what you would get in your kit. And this is a specialty DSP because it has 2 sheets of laser die cuts in the back of it, and you're gonna see some of those in action tonight. You're also going to get 24 sheets of cardstock for the craft along, so you will cut your own pieces for your craft along. So you will get, like this, 24 sheets plus a half sheet of vellum in here for your projects. You will get a full bolt of the Garden Green Chevron Ribbon. You will get a half bolt of the Petal Pink Braided Trim. You will get a pack each of these flower accents and the Pearls of Beauty pearls, so pretty. And a really neat little treat. I'm not going to show you what's in the bag, but you're going to get this really cute little treat that has a fun gift in the bag for you, as well as all the die cuts that are not part of the bundles that you'll need for this. So we are using the pop-up Petals bundle. Very cute, very fun, perfect for fun fold cards. And then the Friendly Foliage bundle. So these are both available in the online store. The Friendly Foliage bundle is $38.50. You might even already have this. It's been very popular. And then also the pop-up Petals has been very popular as well. This one is $46.75. And you will need your own inks. So that is what you get in the at-home kit. Not the bundles, you'll need to have those, but all of those items plus all the die cuts that are not part of these. So you'll see tonight I have some die cuts that are already cut for my projects. And you can get that for $84. I'll ship it to you. That includes shipping plus all this fun stuff. There is a link in the video description that will take you to the registration for that. I do have a handful of kits still left, so you are welcome to purchase one of those. When they're gone, they're gone. You can also purchase just the tutorial and the videos for $25. So you can, at the same link that you can register for the at-home kit, you can purchase the tutorial only for $25. Or with a $75 purchase in my online store between now and Sunday, you'll qualify not only to be eligible for the product of the month, to add that to your cart for $5, but you'll also get this tutorial with video links for free as a thank you. Now, I will be sending out the tutorial and video links at the end of my series, so that will be Monday when I send them all out. So just so you know, if you order the tutorial or you place an order, I will be sending that out to everyone on Monday. Okay? If you ordered the at-home kit already, you already have the tutorial in your email box, so you can go to your email box and look at that if you need to and are ready to craft along. So are you guys ready to see what we're gonna make tonight? Let me change my screen here. Oops, let's fix this. I got something in the way. There we go. Turn my camera. I messed up all my space here, trying to fix things. Okay, seems very, very close. Oh, I see why. Hold on. No wonder it was weird. My camera was in the wrong direction. There we go. All right. So let me show you the cards we're going to make tonight, and we will be doing one card with the pop-up petals, and we'll also be doing one card featuring the Friendly Foliage. So the first card is this adorable card with the pop-up petals. It is so cute with this little basket and the flowers, and I love this sentiment. This is the sentiment that I loved in this bundle. You get me, and I appreciate that. This has a belly band that comes off, and then you open it, and look, it has a pop-up bouquet of flowers inside. Isn't that precious? Lots of neat detail in here. So this is the first card I'm going to share with you tonight. And then the second card with the Friendly Foliage is this neat double door top flap card. What is it called? Something like that. Something like that. So you have this flap that comes up. This opens to the left. This opens to the right. Isn't that fun? And then using this gorgeous Hobby Haven Designer Series paper. I absolutely love it. This is a little bit smaller card, so the bow is nice and big, but it still fits in a regular size envelope. But just a neat way to have an opening on a card, and also to feature all of this beautiful patterned paper. So let's get started. Now, just like I said, this is a craft along, and I'm gonna actually cut everything with my paper here with you tonight, okay? So I have this pile of paper. This is exactly what you would get if you ordered the Craft at Home kit, or if you purchase any of them that I have available. So I'm gonna follow the tutorial. I'm gonna pull the paper out of here. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm also going to pull the Designer Series paper and cut that as well. So the first thing I need out of here is I have a piece somewhere in here of Secret Sea cardstock. I just have to find it in this pile. I say I do. Maybe this is the one it was pulled out of. There it is. I knew it was in there. I knew it was in there. So I've got this piece of Secret Sea, and I'm gonna cut this to 4 1/4 by 11. Just gonna go ahead and cut that. I'm gonna score, do this, put this up like this, score my card base at 5 1/2. So this is like a standard tent size card. But if you remember on this, these pieces are cut off of the card front. So what we're going to do is I am going to line up at 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. Let me see if I turn this around for you so you can see it. So I'm going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to come all the way to my score line here, and I'm going to cut up. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Let's see. I'm going to do it the other side just because it's easier for me. I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. Bring my trimmer down to the score line and then cut down. So now I have these two little flaps and then this main center flap. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish these score lines, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two little panels down. I'm just going to take and give this a little bit of glue and make sure those are nice and even and in place. Do the same thing here. Okay, so that is the basis of our card base. Now I'm going to cut 2 pieces of the Hobby Haven DSP. So I didn't show you all of it yet, so this is kind of my working pack. But this has 2 sheets of all of these adorable laser die cuts. I just have them in a Ziploc bag. You're going to see some of them used throughout this Fun Fold class. So just keep an eye out looking for those. I will continue to share them. Let's see. Let me just give you like a little show of these. So there is this adorable Book Lovers pattern. There is a green thumb pattern, that's what I call it. This is your baker, cooker, kitchen lover pattern. This is your health and beauty fanatic. Let's see. And then this is your crafty themed pattern. And then on the back, there are all these amazing B-sides that we're going to use throughout this Fun Fold Craft Along. I love all of these beautiful patterns. Now I need some of this, the back of the Crafty pattern. So what I need, let's see, we need a couple strips. I had this other scrap here, so I'm going to kind of use up my scraps as I go. And I need 2 pieces that are 5 3/8 by 5/8. Oops. Cut 5/8 by 5 3/8. And remember, you'll be able to get all the measurements in the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to take and add those pieces. They're going to go right here on our little side panels. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on. Fun little pattern. Oops, oops, oops. Just made a mess. Slid my paper over. Just take a wipe and wipe it off. It'll dry. Okay. Add the second piece on. I think this paper is so fun, and we're going to use the A sides and the B sides. So as this week goes on, you're going to see all the fun patterns. Okay, so there we go. Those are the Designer Series paper panels. Now we're going to cut a piece of basic white for the inside. Bring the trimmer back over here. So we're going to cut a piece of basic white. Let's see. 2 5/8 by 10 3/4. Score this at 5 3/8. Okay. And then while I have this out here, I'm also going to cut a piece of this secret C that I'm going to need. That's 5 3/8 by 2 5/8. And let's see, I'm just going to set that aside. And then I'm just going to get all the cutting out of the way. We're going to cut a piece of Coastal Cabana 1 inch by 11. Because if you remember, this card had a belly band. So we're going to need that belly band. All right, so let me get all my scraps out of the way. All right. Ow, I just hit my head on my table. That's no fun. All right, now we need some scraps. So we're gonna do some stamping and some die cutting. So I'm gonna wait to die cut until we get some stamping done. So we have a perennial postage die here. You'll receive this already cut out in your kit. And I've got a piece of white scrap here. And we are going to do some stamping on both of these using that pop-up Petals cute stamp set. So we're gonna need both of the vases. And then we're going to need some flowers. So we've got the flower bouquet, and then there's also these stamps to color in the inside of our flowers. And then I have my sentiment. You can't quite see it because I've got this personalized block, but it says, "You get me, and I appreciate that." Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp a couple things that are going to be die cut out. So we are going to stamp this larger vase in Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to stamp that there. And then I'm going to stamp some flowers in Secret C. And then we need to color in those flowers. So we're going to color in the flowers with some Petal Pink. So this stamp colors in the petals of the flower. And there's a kind of easy way to know which way the stamp goes. You'll see that up here, there's a little split up by this leaf of where in between these two petals. And so you can see on this flower right here, there's that same split. So that's how I know that that's the right place to stamp. Now I am going to stamp off, so I'm going to bring in my little grid paper here. stamp off and then come in here, line up. I don't think I did it very well. Trying to look over my phone. I'm going to stamp again. That's a little better. And then we're going to stamp the centers as well. Okay, so those are just stamped in Petal Pink. Next, on this piece, I'm going to stamp the smaller vase. Where's my other, oh, this vase. I think I just had a kitty cat walk by. So I'm going to stamp this smaller vase right there. Let that dry. Hello, Miss Maple. Wipe off my flowers since we're going to use that again. Did you not do that? And then I need to kind of mask off because I'm going to stamp the flowers and I don't want to stamp onto this vase. So I just kind of, I'm just kind of eyeing it and tearing a piece of Post-it to cover that up. Let's see. A little bit more. I think that will work. Yeah, that should work. So I'm going to stamp the flowers. And so I masked it so that when I pull that off, it looks like they're just coming right out of my vase. And now we're going to take those same little flower, the interior flower stamps, and we're going to color these in with the Secret C. Let's see. Trying to get them lined up a little better. And then I'm going to do the same thing. They're actually really easy to line up, but I have a camera right here, so I can't really get over it like I would if I was stamping it myself, not on film. So they're actually not that hard to line up. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. So I'm going to cut these two pieces out with the coordinating dies, but we're also going to cut out something from this piece. So one of the unique parts of this bundle is that there are two dies here that create a pop-up. Now we are going to use the smaller one on this. And so if you see this, there is this line here and there are two little points on either side. You are going to line this up in the center, and those little points are going to go right along your score line. So I'm just going to kind of eye where that is, and I've just got some paper tape here that I'm going to stick down so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to add the dies here for these. To cut these out. Okay. So I've got my cut and emboss over here. So I think I can do these both at the same time. Let's see. Where is my top? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find my other one. It was hiding over here. In plain sight, hiding in plain sight. Okay, so we've got our vase, There. We've got our little flowers. So cute. Set this aside. I might need that later. And now on this, pull this off gently. You'll see that the die has cut into my piece. It's cut these two slits, but can you see there's also embossed lines here and here. So I'm just going to start out by folding this over. And then I'm just going to pop this one the opposite direction and fold it down. So did you see that? Give this a good burnish. So what we've created with that die is this little pop-up. Okay. So cute, right? So we are going to adhere this on the inside of our card, and we're going to line it up in the center and just to the inside of the score line. Okay. So I'm going to add some glue here. Actually going to do it this way first because I want to get it centered right up here. All right, so it's just at the inside of that score line. And now I'm going to add my glue to this side. And secure that in place. So, you know, one of the fun things about this craft along where I've partnered with 5 other demonstrators is that I get to bring you guys 6 different styles of stamping, because, you know, everyone has different styles. And it's a great way, like, I love it because I learn new things. Amanda, I was just reading your comment. You're like, fun folds are not your thing. Yeah, Amanda, you just, as you're on my team, Amanda, you will automatically get the tutorial for all 12 of these projects. So I encourage you to take them, make them with whatever products you want if you don't have these, but you can take, just like in our team Zoom last night, how we learned. Amanda was on a Zoom last night where we did some mystery stamping, and it's kind of the same thing. You can take these and use them with other products and learn how to make these fun folds. That's the fun part. But I love that we have this new little pop-up in here, and I've got some other details to add. So I've got this piece of Secret C, and instead of just having a simple piece of Secret C, we are going to give it a little detail by scoring at every 3/8 of an inch in both directions. So I'm just going to show you here. We'll score every 3/8 of an inch. Let's see, where was I at? There. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to start on this side. No, I'll do. So basically, 3/8 of an inch is 1/4 of an inch plus 1/8. So you're always going to be like right on the quarter, or in between the quarter and the half. And then I'll be on the 3/4 or the half, and then in between the 3/4 and the inch. So this just does a neat grid pattern on your paper, and scoring on your paper is a great way to add texture with a tool that you already have. Where was I? I was there. Okay. When you get going, you just got to make sure you don't miss one. Okay, so there is that cool pattern, and it is going to be added onto the front here. Okay. Now this adorable vase of flowers, Rosie, the stamp set that I'm using right now is the pop-up Petals, the bundle. Okay, so that's where these dies come from. Okay, that's the pop-up Petals. And then I'll also be using the Friendly Foliage with the projects for the Fun Fold Craft Along. And although you'll need to have those, you can still purchase the Fun Fold Craft Along at home kit. I do have some still available. There is a link in the video description where you can purchase that, or just the tutorials for $25, which will be emailed out at the end of the series on Monday. And then also you can get the tutorial for free with a $75 purchase in my online store. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for just a second. But this card has this adorable belly band, so I'm going to go ahead, and I love a good belly band. Like if you, there's a couple things that I have gone crazy with. One is bows. I love bows. Two is I love a good belly band. So one of my friends and helpers, Julie, she'll tell you, Jennifer loves a good belly band. Okay, so I've just folded it over, and I'm going to secure the belly band in place by adding some glue to the end of this side and the end on the inside there. Oh, I need to spread that out. That's going to be all over the place. Let that sit for just a second. We're going to cover up that seam. So when I do a belly band, I always try to put the seam where I'm going to cover it up. So I've put it on the front here over to the left because I'm actually going to put our little vase of flowers over here. So let's go ahead and give a little bit of glue over here so we can attach that at a little angle over here. And then, oh, well, hello, Maple. Were you coming to say hi to everyone? Now, we're going to take a piece of this Petal Pink braided trim. You know I can't work very well with you right here. You know, that doesn't work very well, little girl. I'm going to take about 8 or 9 inches. I'm just eyeing it, cutting it. And I'm going to pull out some of the braid to get like a twine. So I want 3 pieces, which is basically one of the braided plaits. If you can see that here, can you see? It's easier to. So I'm going to take out one of the braided plaits. And you can actually just pull one and go like this, and it comes out. Super easy. Super easy. So I'm going to take and tie a bow with that. And I'm going to attach it on our card here with a glue dot. So cute. Now, I need a piece of petal pink for our sentiment. So I am going to cut a 2.5 inch. Now you will receive about 5 sheets of petal pink because we used a lot of petal pink. So I am just cutting a whole piece instead of using a scrap, because I am using exactly what you would receive in the at-home kit. And I will pack that up each day in between our stamping sessions, and I'll just keep pulling from that each day. So I have our sentiment here that says, "You get me," and I appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Do y'all see what she just did? Because look. So I have camera and camera now so you can see when these things happen. This is what this girl does. She is a pirate parrot. A pirate parrot that likes to get up on your shoulders. Okay, luckily she jumped down quick. All right, so I stamped my sentiment. Oops. I'm going to add that with dimensionals. Right here onto my card. Okay. We need some bling on here, and then we're going to add our little pop-up on the inside. So we're going to use these beautiful Pearls of Beauty. I just flicked one off. So I'm going to take 2 of the white Pearls of Beauty and add them right down here. So pretty. I love these. They're so shiny, so beautiful. All right, so I'm going to slide my belly band off, and then we are going to take this adorable little vase of flowers and add it right in here. So Amanda asked, how do you, let's see here. Oh, I never did this before. Amanda asked, how do you come up with the color combos? So Amanda, the color combos a lot of times come out of the designer series paper. So it's basically either coming out of the designer series paper or just colors that go well together. Another thing is we have, where is it? A color wheel. Where is my color wheel to show you? Well, it's not in its home. It has a home, and it is not here. I can't believe it's always in the same place. We have a color wheel that you can order. Actually, I think it's still orderable on the Stampin' Up! Website, that you can use to coordinate colors. But a lot of times it comes out of the designer series paper or just colors that go really well together. Also, you can search on Pinterest or just the internet and look for like navy color combos, you know, and you can find like interior design color swatch combos that kind of coordinate with our Stampin' Up! Colors, and that is a fun way that you can come up with color combos. So there's a lot of different ways that you can come up with those color combos. All right. So there is our first fun fold. Now I always love to take a little Wink of Stella, and I took and colored in some of the shadowing on the centers of the flower just to give it some shine, because I always have Wink of Stella there. You probably can't see it. Oh, you can see it a little bit. See the sparkle a little bit. But that is Fun Fold card number 1. Isn't that cute? Wait till you see how Fun Fold card number 2 comes along. Now, this does take me a little bit longer. I am not a speedy crafter, and doing this where I'm cutting everything from start to finish takes me a little bit longer than when I am all prepared for you before a live stamping where I have some of the pieces cut and done. Okay, okay, little girl. Okay, she wants to get in my shirt, y'all. You can't right now. I'm sorry. She's the sweetest thing, and I love to snuggle with her, and she likes to get in my shirt. Okay, so let me put my dies up and set my stamp to the side and pull out our next set. So let me just remind you, let's get Maple out of the way. Baby, I can't have you in my shirt right now. I'm sorry. Mama's working. So this is the second card, and this is a fun, like, triple fold card, and it uses what I call the green thumb paper. It uses some of the laser cuts, and we also get to stamp this really cool stamp from the Friendly Foliage. So let's go ahead and get those pieces cut and going. All right, we need, pull out my cardstock here. We need a piece of garden green. And we're gonna need some basic white, which I already had some out here. Oops, some right here. Here's some basic white. And then Coastal Cabana, we need a piece. And then DSP. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut as much of the DSP as I can really quickly. So we are using what I call the green thumb, and then on the back of the baking themed paper we are using the green grid. So I'm going to let's cut our grid first. I need to look at my card here. Where did I set it? To make sure I cut my paper right. It doesn't really matter for the grid as much, so I need 2.5 by 3 3/4. So let me just cut these real quick. Okay, so there's my first piece. And then 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. Just making sure I'm cutting it right. All my scraps, 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and I needed 2 of these. Okay. I am following along on the tutorial just like you would be doing. So just to give you an idea of what the tutorial looks like, we've got all the measurements, all the supplies, step-by-step instructions. We've got diagrams and pictures, and there's also a link to the basics on how the card goes together. So a little short video, so that, you know, maybe you don't want to come back and watch my whole video. You can kind of do a short video. Okay, 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, I need a piece that is 1 3/4 by 3 3 1/4. There's one piece, and then okay, 3 1/4, 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, I think I have all of the DSP cut. And now we're going to go ahead and cut our garden green cardstock. So we've got 5 by 10.5. And this is scored at 3.5 and 7. Okay, so remember this is a little trifold card. Okay, so I'm going to kind of fold it, kind of press on it, and then we're going to do some cutouts. Okay, so on one side, you see my diagram here. On this side, the left side, we are going to cut out from 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the score line right on the cut line, and I'm going to go to 2 inches on the side of my trimmer, and I'm going to cut up from the 2-inch mark to the top of the card. Okay, I'm then going to come, actually I'm going to have to do it the other way just to get to 2 inches. I'm going to line up on the other end of my trimmer. Let's put this down so you can see. On the other end of my trimmer, I'm going to line up at 2 inches. I'm going to bring my cutter to the score line and cut down, and that is the piece that is going to come out of the left side. So that's how I've created the left side door. Now on this side, we're going to cut down to 3 inches. We're going to take our trimmer. I've lined up my score line on that cut line. Okay, and I've brought my trimmer to the 3-inch mark here, and I'm going to score up, and then I'm going to line the top up at 3, bring this trimmer to the score line, and trim up to cut that out. And you'll just keep those 2 pieces as scrap or do whatever you want with them. But now you have the basis of that fold. Now we also need a piece of 2 3/4 by 8. Which is scored at 4. This is the little card on the top. And that should be all of our pieces that we need to trim for the card. So let's assemble some of it. Add some of this designer series paper. So just to show you, the largest piece of your designer series paper is going to go right here in the center. And I love these cute chairs and all these plants. I don't like real life plants because I don't have a green thumb unless I've been stamping with garden green ink, but I do like the look of them. And I'm just not good at pruning and knowing what to do if they look sad. I don't know what words to tell them. So I've got that there. And then we have some of this green pattern that is going to go here and here. So I'm going to add those. Amanda, back to your question about the color combos as well, is that on the back of our designer series papers, one of the easiest ways, and one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is it has all the coordinating colors here for all the patterns. So you can see that here on the paper. So all of these colors, Basic Beige, Cajun Craze, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. Those are all the colors that coordinate with this pack of DSP. So if you stick in those family of colors, pull out those, the paper, the cardstock, the ink, the whatever, you are going to find yourself having nicely coordinated projects. That was really, truly, besides heat embossing, the thing that I really loved about Stampin' Up! Was the color coordination. I used to like go to the big box stores like the Joann's and the Michaels before we had Hobby Lobby in town. And now we don't have Joann's anymore, which was my favorite. And I would bring a piece of paper in. So I would like have this piece of paper and I would be going down the ribbon aisle and I'm like, does that match? Oh yeah, that one matches. But I would have to find like 50 of them before and not all of them match. But with Stampin' Up, they all match. Okay, succulents. Yes, I do have some on my kitchen window. So I have had some success there, but I have also killed some of the succulents. I think overwatering sometimes. So it's either overwatering or underwatering. Heck if I know. But the pretty ones that I like, those are the ones that I always kill. It's the like not the cute ones that survive. But I do have some in my kitchen window that have survived for some time. Between my husband and I, we managed to keep them alive. I have a few plants that we pulled in from our screen porch that we didn't want to freeze, obviously. So my husband pulled them in tonight. And I was looking at them and I'm like, man, I have neglected these plants. They really need to be pruned and stuff. Okay, I do need a piece of basic white for the inside here. And I'm going to need some... Let's see what that is. So basic white, 2.5 by 3 3/4. Oops. And then I need a piece of Coastal Cabana to stamp on. How big is that? How big is that? It's about 2 3/4 by 4. 4 by 2 3/4. I'm just guessing. Hopefully that's enough. All right. So this piece is going to go on the inside of this little card, and we're going to stamp a little detail on there with a really cute little leaf detail stamp. And then we're going to add this to our card. Got some glue on my finger. So this little cute detail stamp is going to go on the bottom of this piece where you would write your sentiment. Look at that cute little detail. Love that. And now this piece is going to be glued into the center. Right like that. So you can kind of see the way this is going to go together is right like that. So this piece flips up. This piece flips open, and that flips open. you know, I'm going to have to try your tip on watering the succulents. Except mine are in a little terrarium bowl, so I can't take them out and put it in water overnight. So it's a little tricky, but we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with. Okay, now I've got some stamping to do here. We are going to stamp a sentiment. I also need a small strip of sentiment of probably about 1, 2, 3. This is a skinny sentiment. I'm guessing because there is no measurement here, but based on when I did the sample card, I think this will be good. A little strip for our sentiment. Sentiment, okay. I'm going to stamp my sentiment really quick, and I will show you something. Can you see that one side of my stamp looks a different color? So, I'm one of those naughty people that cuts their stamps apart. Look at this. I cut my stamp in two to be able to use the stamp differently. So, especially with photopolymer stamps, it works really easy, and then they just slide right back together, no problem. Super easy to get a little bit more flexibility out of your stamps. So we're almost done with this card. So there is our little crooked sentiment. Luckily there's two sides. There's our sentiment. And we're going to stamp this really cool leaf and frame stamp. I love this stamp. Tone on tone. We're stamping Coastal Cabana on Coastal Cabana. I know, Amanda, I'm super naughty when it comes to those things. All right, now this has a really cool die because it gives you a couple options. Let's see here. There is a die that just cuts the outside, so maybe you just want to cut that out and leave it like that. But there's also a piece that cuts out the inside. So I'm going to kind of line them up. So I'm going to line up the inside one first. So it's this little, just takes a little patience to get it lined up. It's not hard. What I like to do, take this apart, is first line this one up. And then set this over the top. And when I feel like that's in place, I might, adjust a little. And just tape them together. All right, I'm going to run this through the die cut machine. Crank, crank, crank. And so now we have this really neat die cut frame. Now you get all these pieces in here, and this is what I like to do. I just like to drop it on my table a couple times or hit it. This is a tile actually. So most of all of the pieces will come out. If it doesn't, just take your pick tool and just pop it out. But everything came out pretty easy. And if you feel that it's not, just use some wax paper on it, and that helps as well. Yeah, the double use of the die pieces is pretty cool. So that is pretty neat. You could do this and then cut just that out in white or another color or vellum and put vellum behind this and have a beautiful vellum backing. There's lots of things you could do with that. So very cool. I love this bundle, the Friendly Foliage, and it's, I feel like, reasonably priced. It's $38.50 for the bundle, the stamp set and the dies, and then you're gonna earn $3.85 of Stampin' Rewards when you get that. So you know, you got to always look at all the ways that you make some little extras. That's all part of the price of things. Okay. So remember we had all of these little laser cuts. So I see the one I need. I need this. But there are so many fun things. Look at this. This is a dress form. Here's a little lamp. There's flowers. Let me just dump these out and show you guys, because we're almost done with this card. But just, I took these out because they were like all over the place. There's buttons. There's this cute little apron. There's books and plants and art easels. They're just so many cute things. A coffee pot, a teacup, and a tea bag. Little just cute elements. Great for scrapbooking. Coffee, this adorable cupcake. I mean, a ticket. There's just all kind of cool things. All kind of cool things. So, I love this paper. Hobby Haven paper. Let me see if I can get this back in without making a mess. And put the front of this card together without losing any of the, oh, one hit the ground. Let me get it before I lose it for real. Okay, lost a button. Okay, so I needed this little leaf, which we're gonna add onto our card front here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid glue to the back of it. Just gonna, oops, that is way too much. Sometimes I squeeze too hard. I don't mind having some loose ends there. This is going to go right here. We're going to layer this on top with dimensionals. So I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. I have all kind of little dimensionals here. Oh, that is not a real roach. Don't freak out. That is my helper Julie. Has been doing shenanigans for years. This roach has been around for a while. It comes and goes to different places in my studio. It goes to my retreats. You name it. It's been around. Okay. So I'm adding some little dimensionals here. Let's see, down there. That should be good. Which way? This angles this way. Okay, so there's that. We need a cute bow with this green chevron ribbon that I had pulled out. Look how cute this is. It ties great bows. It's easy to cut. We're going to add this over here. Might need to trim some of the tails off. Might have got a little over excessive with the tails of that. Is that where I put it? Oh, let me put my sentiment on first. This sentiment is going to go on. We're going to add a little bit of glue to the back of it. and add that on, and then we'll add our bow. All right. Last but not least, we need some bling on this. So we're going to put some of these cute gold flower accents. Add a couple just down here in the corner to add a little bit of sparkle. So then you have the fun double gate fold fun flap card. And it shows off all those pretty patterns. So there is card number 2. And here is card number 1. Drop a comment to let me know which one you liked best. Did you like we'll just call this the blue one and this the green one. Do you like the blue or the green? Which one do you like the best? Drop a comment. Debbie likes the blue one. Okay. I always love knowing what you guys like when I have a variety of card. Connie likes the blue one. Okay. Amanda likes the blue one. The blue one seems to be the popular one so far. Oh, Candy likes the green one. You like both of them. Okay. Happy Stampin' Mom. Okay, so you missed the blue one. Well, you can go back and watch that on the video replay. Connie likes the blue. Awesome. Okay. Well, friends, just as a reminder, let me switch back to my face here. Just as a reminder, this is my Christmas break, after Christmas or Christmas break fun fold craft along. I've partnered with 5 of my favorite crafty people, and we have designed 12 amazing fun folds for you. Tonight is the first night. I'm going to be sharing again tomorrow afternoon. You'll also have some videos on New Year's Day. I will be doing something with my husband on New Year's Day, so I've pre-recorded some videos and I'm going to share those on New Year's Day, and then I'll be back here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to share again with you. So make sure that you plan to tune in with me. I'll be here at 3 p.m. tomorrow so that I can be done and get ready to go watch some fireworks tomorrow with some friends and my husband, and be back home before people are out being crazy on the roads. And so come back to join me at 3 o'clock tomorrow for session 2. I have 2 more awesome fun folds for you tomorrow. And if you're interested in the at-home kit, as I mentioned, the link to purchase them are in the video descriptions, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or watching the replay. There are a handful of kits left, so if you go there and it doesn't look like there's any available, I might have sold out, but I have about, I don't know, I have a handful left. So I'm trying to remember how many I have left. But it's available. It's $84 for the at-home kit. That includes shipping and all the stuff I showed at the beginning. So if you missed that, go back to the beginning and watch, because I shared all the cool stuff that you get, including this awesome basket. Okay, so that basket is also coming to you. Or you can purchase the tutorial only with the videos for $25, or place an online order in my online store this week by Sunday. And I will be emailing out the tutorials to everyone on Monday after the finale of the Fun Fold Craft Along. So thank you guys for tuning in with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to being back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. to share 2 more cards with you. And tomorrow night we will be saying sayonara to 2025. And I am ready. I love a new year. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Bye.